Hello and welcome to your astrological vibrations for Tuesday, July 1st, 2025 by Gaia Blooming. I am Mimi and rabbit. Her energy mantra for today is I take time to nurture and value all my layers, body, mind, spirit, soul, and heart. So, more rabbits for today, July 1st. Here we are. July is a shifty month. Having Uranus shift in under a week now is going to be very potent for us. There's other shifts coming in, but let's just work on today. Let's work on what today's energies come in as. So we have a shift today with the moon moving out of Virgo and into Libra. And it's interesting because I always talk about like how the signs are a foundation for one another, but I also realize that it's very interesting that we have earth energy before we have air energy, and that happens all through the zodiac. And I think that's because the earth, we're meant to like know what it feels like to get grounded, right? Know what it feels like to be earthed, settled, connected, because otherwise when the strong air energies come in, we can become kites. We're here, we're connected, and yet we can feel the air under our sails. So that's an interesting analogy. I was not expecting that to come out of my mouth, but okay. That's kind of the energy. So the first part of the day has us getting grounded. The first part of the day has the moon in Virgo connecting to Venus and Uranus in Taurus. So grounding is the name of the game. Taking time to connect, ground, nurture our physical bodies, be very aware of what our physical bodies need. And then we have the air come in, and this is perfect reference for next week when we have Uranus move into Gemini. So the moon will shift into Libra, and Libra, air sign, can give us wings. Can give us wings. Can put a little air in our sails. Virgo is meant to be grounded, or not Virgo, earth energy is meant to be grounded and kind of focused in that area, and air energy is meant to help us flit around, make connections, see other things. So there's a nice balance in there, right? So today, take your first part of the day to take your time to get grounded, which ironically, these cards are actually really perfect for the day. So we start the day with the slowing down, grounded, sinking our energy. Joe would say sinking our chi down into our lower body so that we feel connected. And later we get to be a little more light. Moon into Libra, bringing a little, hopefully, balance into all of these energies that are going around. The moon in Libra is going to oppose both Saturn and Neptune. This isn't going to be till the evening, but you may find oppositions are interesting because they're either balancing or they form like a tug of war where we're trying to find that balance, where we're trying to find that harmony. Now, I do have the harmony card, but the harmony card shows up after the minds, like after we kind of take care of the stories that the mind is telling us. And this is a reminder that the mind is going to take us places, but really where we want to be is this connected place of like mind and heart together. We then have the moment-to-moment card. So it's not going to just be like, bam, I got it. So just be aware, this opposition energy, a little tug of war, and it's finding the balance between the me and the we, right? And I think we're all trying to figure this out in the world and in our life. Like, how much attention do I need to place on me? How much nurturing, grounding, meditation, good food, etc., do I need so that I can show up and be in service to the world, so that I can be in service to others. And so we may find some of that in the tug of war. And a lot of times that Libra energy can spin us out to where we are choosing harmony with somebody else rather than making sure that our own needs are taken care of. So watch for that, especially in the evening. The moon is then going to connect to Pluto. That's late in the evening. It is a trine, so it's a happy connection, and yet Pluto can always tap us in to the darker side of things, the shadowy side of things, fear and power issues, and this could show up in relationship. This could show up even in you trying to find that balance of harmony. I also feel like with Pluto and Aquarius, it's really easy for us to connect into the collective layers of the fears and all of that. So be aware of that and throw in all of the rabbits because it's July. Now I want to mention, I said this in Monday's scope, but I want to reiterate it. Astrology is very interesting. Like, it definitely has a certain kind of science to it, right? Where you are observing, noticing patterns, and seeing how they repeat themselves, because patterns repeat. That being said, while Uranus is not yet in the sign of Gemini, I am feeling the vibrations of it's coming. It's like how Christmas is coming, right? Christmas is not till December 25th, and yet, you know, once November something hits, it kind of feels like Christmas. So we're sort of feeling like Christmas, except it's Uranus in Gemini and it doesn't feel a thing like Christmas. The shenanigans. I have been mentioning the increase in shenanigans. Now, officially, I believe later today, we are going to have Mercury hitting the shadow point where it reaches the first layer of lessons. So that's going to just increase the shenanigans that are coming. But I do feel like Uranus in Gemini is going to be very potent when it comes to craziness with technology and communication and all of those things, because it's meant to upgrade. But a lot of times before we upgrade anything, we go through a little breakdown for some breakthrough. If I could tell you about all the shenanigans that happened today, we would be here for a really long time. But it is happening, and it is not just happening to me. I'm hearing it from it all over the place. Weird things. So July is gonna take us into weird science. That's the song I'm hearing in my head, is Weird Science. Anyway, again, I want to reiterate the grounding process, because that is going to help. It's going to help support your nervous system for any of the shenanigans, but it makes it less likely for you to participate in the shenanigans in any negative way. And what I mean by that is like having accidents or anything like that. So the grounding will help. Last card from the Deep Place, one of my favorite things, imagination. And I'm going to actually read it because it's beautiful. And I think that this is really nice with the moon moving into Libra and the sun in Cancer. Such creative energies, and we can use our imagination to create beauty. When I saw this card and I looked at the astro with the moon in Libra, one of my favorite Rumi quotes is, "Let the beauty you love be what you do." There's hundreds of ways to kneel and kiss the ground, and one of those ways is using our divine creation, using our imagination. So as humans, we possess the most powerfully creative force on the planet, imagination, the ability to envision something that doesn't yet exist and bring it into being. Imagination asks us to step into a dreamy and non-linear space of wandering, weirdness, and wonder. It asks us to tinker, play, and experiment, to step into the workshop of our own thinking and dreaming, both because it's practically useful, but also because it's simply a beautiful place to be. The questions are, how might you make space for imagination and creativity today? What visions are alive within you, and how might you take them one step in the direction of bringing them to life? How might you step into your identity as a creative and imaginative person? Here are some affirmations. I bring worlds into being by tapping into the power of my imagination. I actually love that and would like to add that to my daily repertoire because that feels really nice. My dreams matter. I am inherently creative, which is very true. And then it has some practices. Spend 5 minutes in your imagination today. Get dreamy and let your mind wander. There's no need to get anywhere. Just open the space and see what emerges. Keep an imagination journal. Let yourself doodle, jot down ideas, and play around with visions. Let it be fun. So I love that to finish up this astro energy for today. Again, a reminder, get grounded, stay tethered, even as you feel the winds of change come in with the moon shifting into Libra. So that's it for today. You can book a reading. Email me, mimiclark@gmail.com. And the better it gets, the better it gets. There's more than enough love in the world for you. You have the power, and may your guiding light be strong, and know that you can trust your process. Namaste.